A man cheats people for years, small lies at first, then bigger ones. He cuts corners, breaks promises, takes what he can. And for a while, nothing happens. No punishment, no public fall, no thunder from the sky. From the outside, it even looks like he's winning. Another man lives differently. He helps people quietly, keeps his word, shows up when nobody is watching. He does the right thing when there is no applause, and for a while, nothing happens there either. No reward, no celebration, no sudden miracle, just ordinary days. But 10 years later, their lives look completely different. One is surrounded by suspicion. The other is surrounded by trust. One has people checking his words, the other has people standing by his name. So the question is not only whether life keeps score. The question is, where is the score being written before we can see it? That is the mystery behind the great law. That is why we call it the invisible receipt. Because every action prints something. Not always on paper, not always in public, not always today. But somewhere a record is being formed. In your habits, in your body, in your relationships, in your reputation, in your spirit. Every day you print a receipt, not in ink, but in pattern. A lie prints one line. Another lie adds weight. A kind act prints one line, and another kindness builds shelter. What you repeat, you rehearse. What you rehearse, you become. And what you become changes what kind of life can grow around you. The great law is often explained simply. You reap what you sow. But that sentence can become too small if we rush past it. Because this law is not saying every event in life is an instant reward or punishment. It is not saying every painful thing that happens to someone is something they deserved. Life has storms. People suffer from things they did not plant. Bad things can happen to good people. So the wiser version of the law is this. Repeated choices are never neutral. They shape you. They shape how people experience you. They shape what you are trusted with. They shape what becomes easy for you. They shape what becomes normal. And over time, what was hidden inside the pattern begins to appear outside the person. To understand it, imagine a garden. A life garden. Every action becomes a seed. A lie falls into the soil. Kindness falls into the soil. Discipline, anger, patience, greed, forgiveness. Each one enters the same ground. But they do not grow into the same tree. A lie becomes a thorn tree. At first, it is small, easy to hide, but every new lie waters it. The roots spread, the branches sharpen. Eventually, even the person who planted it cannot walk freely through their own garden. Kindness grows differently. At first, it may look unimpressive, a small seed, a quiet act, a favor nobody posts, but over time, it becomes shade. People remember how you made them feel. They remember that you came through. They remember that you did not only appear when you needed something. That tree grows slowly, but one day people rest under it. Discipline becomes a fruit tree. Early on, it looks boring. Wake up, practice, study, save, train. Try again. Nothing dramatic, nothing viral. But discipline does its first work underground. It builds roots before it shows fruit. And this is where many people misread life. They judge the branch before they understand the root. They see someone's harvest and call it luck. But sometimes luck is just repetition wearing invisible work clothes. This idea appears in many traditions. Christianity speaks of sowing and reaping. Judaism speaks of measure for measure. Islam speaks of deeds being seen, even the smallest good or evil. Hindu traditions speak of karma and fruit. Buddhism places weight on intention, because the same outward action can plant a different seed depending on the heart behind it. Different traditions do not explain it in exactly the same way, but many point to the same deep pattern. Actions do not disappear when the moment ends. The first harvest is often invisible. Before a scandal, there was a private habit. Before trust, there was consistency. Before mastery, there was repetition. Before isolation, there were warnings people ignored. Before peace, there were choices nobody saw. Now return to the two men from the beginning. The cheat and the helper. At first, the cheat looks clever. He wins by trimming the truth. He escapes pressure by shifting blame. He takes shortcuts and calls it strategy. But every lie creates a debt. A character debt, a trust debt, a memory debt. Because lies need maintenance. They need rehearsal. They need other lies to protect them. Over time, people start checking his stories. Recommendations disappear. Trust thins out. Even if he has money, he begins to live in the atmosphere he planted. Suspicion, fragility, isolation. Now look at the helper. At first, there is nothing spectacular. They help. They show up. They keep promises. It looks ordinary. But trust also compounds. Over time, people know they are reliable. Their name travels into rooms they are not in. And when crisis comes, people answer the call. One person harvested quick advantage and long distrust. The other harvested slow trust and long resilience. That is the great law, not magic, not superstition, accumulation. The garden does not care whether the seed was dramatic, it cares whether it was planted, and watered, and repeated. So the question is not only, what do you want to harvest? The deeper question is, what are you planting repeatedly? Because everyone has a garden. Everyone has seeds. Everyone has patterns they water without noticing. The great law is not a lightning bolt. It is quieter than that. It is the slow record of repetition. Every action plants something. Every repetition waters it. Every habit gives it roots. And one day, what was hidden underground becomes the life everyone can see. That is the invisible receipt, not printed on paper, printed in pattern, and sooner or later, the garden speaks.